Hello my witchy friends, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. My name is Sophie, I'm the Midwest Magician, and today's video is the start of a new series called Weeknights with a Witch. The intention of this series is to take you through a few weeknights with me so that I can show you the small magical things that I do when I am home from work. I know that a lot of us are very busy people, and sometimes that can make it hard to practice witchcraft throughout our work weeks, but I hope that you'll find within this video that you can do little tiny things tucked in throughout your week that can kind of make a mundane week feel a lot more magical. So I hope you enjoy the series, and let's go ahead and get into it. A quick side note and /or announcement: if you're not interested in housekeeping stuff, go ahead and skip forward just a minute, no big deal. But I did start a Patreon for the channel. You can see that linked in the description box down below. My Crossroads Traveler patrons, as well as my Witch of the Wood patrons, do have access to the extended version of this video, so there is some footage that I did not include for YouTube that is available on Patreon. And if you're not interested in bonus content, I do have a tier called Rooted, and on that tier you do have access to the YouTube videos 2 days in advance. So that is my very brief announcement. Let's go ahead and get into the first edition of Weeknights with a Witch. Monday, and I am here in the magical cat room. I did my spring altar refresh video, and I have all of these books that need to make their way onto these bookshelves. I have to show you something really quick though. For my birthday, my husband got me some grow lights for all of the plants on the bookshelves, and they look incredible. It's amazing at night when this whole thing is all lit up. So I have to get all of my books put away on the bookshelf, and then tonight I do need to work with a saint because there has been a theft in this house. I had purchased for Baba Yaga as an offering, as a gift to her, a little chicken foot, and it was sitting right over here on the bookshelf, and it was sitting there for maybe a month or two, and I just noticed the other day when we got all the lights put up and the bookshelf put back together that it is totally missing. I know who the thief is, and unfortunately she's not talking. Where did you hide the chicken foot, Freya? Tell me. When did you take it, and where did you hide it? You see what I mean? She doesn't care. She's a thief. So, my plan is to light a candle with my St. Anthony prayer card, and hopefully as I'm spring cleaning the house, which I keep the house really clean. I'm always sweeping and moving furniture, so I'm surprised I haven't come across it yet, but hopefully St. Anthony will be able to help me out with this task. I just need to keep better eyes on this girl. But either way, I love her very much, and she's in trouble, but she won't get any kind of punishment. So I'm gonna go ahead and spruce up the bookshelf, light my St. Anthony candle, and we'll see what happens from there. I have to turn off the bookshelf lights in order to film the bookshelf, so it is what it is. best we're gonna do with the time that I'm able to dedicate to this project today, and I'm okay with that. I think it's just gonna be a work in progress for now, but it looks way better than books just scattered all over my little ottoman here. So I think for now I'm going to light my St. Anthony candle and say the prayer on the prayer card. Let's hope and pray that we can find this chicken foot. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. See you in a minute. Tuesday, and usually I reserve this activity for Wednesdays, but from the looks of it, it needs to be done today. And that is Water Wednesday on a Tuesday. So this is what I like to do once a week as a way to connect with the spirit of my houseplants. But while I'm watering and occasionally giving some fertilizer, I do like to speak to my plants. I like to try to connect with them, thank them for providing the house with fresh air, and I know some of the plants do have protection wards and things like that. Some of them have little altars set up in them. So just really tending to the plants in a more spiritual way. And some of them look like they really need water since we have a lot more sunlight than we have been having the whole winter. So let's go ahead and get some watering done. Not a plant. You get water every day. Yeah. Not a plant. You're not a plant, you silly girl. What are you doing? Pink Princess has been around for a year, and I can't tell if it likes me, but this is a new leaf and we have 2 new leaves coming up. So hopefully it likes me enough to keep growing, because we had a shady history there for a while. This has been with us for almost 2 years now, and it is silly as can be. The ancestors tend to this plant for me, and it is always so happy. So thank you, ancestors. You're doing a fantastic job. I already know what you're thinking. This poor little neon looks so sad. It'll be fine tomorrow. It'll perk right back up, I promise. I've never had or cared for orchids before, but I rescued these two from a building that was being moved out of, and they seem to be doing okay. They're getting some new growth and there's some buds, especially on this one. We have some new buds over here, so I'm really hoping I can get them to flower. I guess we'll see. I've got all the plants watered. I'm super excited. Everything looks very healthy except for that one neon pothos or pothos. I'm not sure how people say it, but I say pothos. Everything looks really good and really healthy, so I'm very excited about that. I just got the mail as well, and I got the Beginner Witch's Handbook, Essential Spells, Folk Traditions, and Lore for Crafting Your Magical Practice. And this is Leah, the Redheaded Witch's first book. I pre-ordered her new book that's coming out later this year, so I'm really excited for that to come out. But I really want to sit and flip through this book. I personally think that a lot of people are deterred by the word beginner, and I personally, I can understand that, but I personally really still like to read beginners books because there still might be things that I'm a beginner in and little nuggets of information that somehow might have slipped through the cracks for me. So I still really like beginner books. I am going to read through this. I have quite the list of things that I'm reading, but let me show you real quick. I also definitely talked about this book in my 2025 reading list, but that is Honoring Your Ancestors, or Guide to Ancestral Veneration. I started this, it's really good so far, and it made me want to start to keep a journal for my ancestor veneration practice. So I'm working on this. I want to start reading this tonight, and then I do have a PDF book that I'm reading through. Another creator had sent it to me to read it and give a honest review, so I need to start reading that as well so I can give an honest review. But I'm really excited because it's a topic that I really am not familiar with, so I think I'm gonna learn a lot in that book too. But all that being said, I'm going to spend the rest of my evening reading some books, getting some notes together, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Wednesday's Weeknights with a Witch. It's Wednesday. So I wanted to do some kitchen witchery. I'm feeling super low energy today. We've had a lot of thunderstorms. There's severe weather threats, tornado watches all over the entire state of Illinois right now. So I kind of need to make sure that I'm doing something that I can drop if needed to run to shelter. However, that's not gonna stop me from doing something kitchen witchy. If you've been around the channel for a while, then you know I love to make sourdough bread, and I kind of have a confession that I have not wanted to talk about on the channel for a bit. Please do not judge me. I killed my last starter. So I have to get a new starter established. And the last time that I established a starter, I used the same brand. So I purchased their dehydrated starter again. And that is, this isn't sponsored either, by the way, but I got the Basil and Bloom starter. I really love the magic of sourdough. It's a very slow and very intentional practice. Once you have a starter going, it takes 2 weeks in order for you to even be able to cook with it safely. And that's just the amount of time that it takes for the good bacteria to kind of eat and get rid of the bad bacteria. I really love with sourdough that you're kind of doing alchemy in your kitchen. You're taking some essentially crumbs and turning it into an entire living culture right in your house. And not only that, You can use your sourdough starter for divination. If it's super active and bubbly, you can expect things like abundance, good things coming in. If it's stagnant, you might need to take a look at your own life and see what is stagnant there. Of course, that's just off the top of my head, but these are things to kind of reflect on as far as the starter itself goes. And not to mention divination with your dough that you make. I was talking to Selena over from Essence of the Moon on YouTube, and she was reading a book that was talking about using dough for divination, your pizza dough, I think specifically. And I really liked that concept as well. So I'm definitely going to be applying that to my personal practice, and more specifically with my sourdough, once I can get that started. And along with even just sourdough starter being a slow and intentional type of magic, I feel like the same can be said about actually baking the bread. The process with how you stretch and fold the dough and wait for it to rise really allows for you to kind of fold your intentions into your dough. And in the spirit of taking things easy today, I'm also going to be making myself a hot cup of cacao to sip on while I look at a new deck of cards that I was just gifted, as well as reading through some books. Isn't this the cutest little mug? It's got all of these adorable flowers and plants. My cousin, who knows I'm super witchy, got this for me for my birthday along with a little witchy book. I thought it was so nice of her. And then the cards that I was talking about flipping through, I'm really excited about this deck. Girls, sorry, I was having a lovely spat. You stop it! Oh my goodness, Willow. Anyways, speaking of Selena from Essence of the Moon, she is the sweetest ever, so go check out her channel. She does amazing videos, unboxing, she shows her magic, she talks about books, she's really doing it all over there, and it's incredible. But she was so kind to send me this deck, the Kitchen Witch Oracle, which is so fitting for what we're doing today, this week, and everything. I flipped through it ever so briefly last night when it got here, but I really want to sit down and like look at the full guidebook and look at all the cards, and it's just so beautiful. So thank you so much, Selena. That was really, really nice of you. I appreciate it so much, and I'm going to treasure this deck forever. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my hot cacao. I think I'm gonna sprinkle in some cinnamon just for some extra comfort, and I'm gonna curl up with a book and with my Kitchen Witch Oracle deck, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So I am reworking my money bowl entirely. It was kind of like a platter before, and that's just not what I needed. Over the top of the base of coins, I'm adding in my money drawing oil. I make this myself, and it has been quite potent for me. Over the top of our coins and oil, I'm just adding a mixture of rice and lentils, since both of those have a lot of abundance properties. Next, I'm going to be adding some lemon balm and peppermint. If you know anything about mint, you know just how much it can grow and thrive, so that is definitely a correspondence I want in this money bowl. Next, thing I'm going to be adding is a mixture of pink salt and coffee, and really the salt is just for purification while the coffee is to bring things in quickly. Are we really even making a money bowl if we don't add a couple of cinnamon sticks in for abundance? I also wrote on some bay leaves, some affirmations and symbols, and I will just be adding those as well. Next thing I'm throwing in there is a check stub from an unexpected check that I recently received. This is something that I definitely want to continue calling in. Who doesn't love getting unexpected checks in the mail? That is everything that I'm including for now. This will be something that I continuously feed over time. I'm sure I'll have to refresh it every once in a while, but I hope that you enjoyed this little Thursday project. A confession to make, and that is that on Friday I did not have the energy to do anything witchy. I got home from work and I decided to take a huge nap and then make dinner and go right back to bed. So I didn't want to try to fill in the blanks or misguide you in any type of way. I think it's important to talk about the days where we just don't have the energy to give to our practice and to recognize that there's nothing wrong with that. I do still personally have my tiny rituals that I tuck in throughout the day, so it's not like I did nothing. However, I didn't make a dedicated effort to doing something for my craft on Friday night. Going forward with this series, I think what I'm going to do instead of a consecutive work week worth of content, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to have 5 to potentially 7 days or evenings worth of content, but I don't necessarily think it's realistic for me to be able to do that within a full work week. I really hope that you enjoyed this vlog. It is kind of longer, so if you made it to the end of the video, can you leave a little leaf or plant emoji to commemorate our Water Wednesday on a Tuesday? I really love to see who makes it to the end of the videos. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I do have the extended edition of this vlog up on my Patreon for the Crossroads Traveler tier and the Witch of the Woods tier. I had so much fun filming this one, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.